Welcome back to the breakdown from Shenandoah University, powered by EXP. I am Josh Cunningham, this is Brad Blanchard, and Noah Jordan. Let's get right into RLCS Season 9, Week 2, starting off with NA.
So the first game for NA this week was Sonics versus SSG, and by God, I can say I called it. Sonics won this, and I don't think no one else here was expecting that, but
No, not at all.
I think I expected that.
I was really surprised. Sonics taking it 3-1 against Space Station. Absolutely huge upset, I'd say.
For sure. I mean, everyone was stunned.
I don't think they played to the best of their ability, but we just gotta see better next time, right?
Yeah. Another thing to mention too is that Shock, again, insane. He got Player of the Week from the casters. And Dapper's starting to warm up too. I think Sonics could be a real NA contender here.
Honestly, especially when it comes down to Shock. Their bump game in Game 1 there was absolutely nutty.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
They had complete control of that field the entire match.
There was a lot of missed touches and stuff like that, though. We don't like seeing, but again, we'll have to see next week. Because Space Station Gaming has been destined to be the top 4 team of this, and showing that Susquehanna can do that.
It's not looking good for SSG.
No, that does not look good at all.
So our second game for NA was E United versus Ghost, and this is also not looking good if you're an E United fan.
Yeah. I'm very surprised.
Well, a lot of these games this week for both EU and NA really scared us this season.
Yeah,
this
really
week.
kind of
Upsets and things that we're not used to. United looked very good on against Cloud9, but against Ghost it was just kind of a rampage.
It was just not good.
It was small games. They were 1-0s or by one lead, except for I think the second game was a 2-1 or something like that lead.
Yeah, they were close.
Yeah, and so it was just not what we want to see from EU United. But I think this also puts a damper on C9's spirit, because C9 we want to say EU United just looked great that day, but they just were okay, I guess.
Yeah, and C9 still lost.
Didn't play well Week 1, I guess.
Yeah.
Missed very critical to this game. Absolutely dominated.
Yeah, Mist was insane. I think he had 700 plus points on fantasy this week.
Mist was definitely the player to have that.
Jeez, I mean that is just insane. Mist honestly kind of carried Ghost. I mean, that's just unfortunate for United fans. I mean, you just hate to see that.
Honestly.
So our third matchup for NA this week was Cloud9 versus Rogue, and
I called it.
Gosh golly, you hate to see this if you're a C9 fan.
I absolutely called it. Rogue took it 3-2 against Cloud9, best of 5. Rogue, it's so sad to see Cloud9 go down like this.
Well, if you look at the games, when Gimmick and Torment were playing their part in keeping the ball in play, I mean, it was a 3-2 game, the series was 3-2.
Yeah.
And when Torment got the touches he needed and Gimmick passed or got the scores that Squishy offered to him, it really showed their teamwork, and they played well then, but the other 3 games were just throws, and Gimmick just couldn't hold it together, and Squishy didn't know what to do about it, so.
For sure. And I'm not sure if y'all watched the Game 5 of this, but Game 5 was so exciting to watch. I think this Game 5 for C9 versus Rogue was the best game this week for NA, and that's just a fact. Went to OT, it was so close, and it was a real nail-biter, and it was really fun to watch. So our fourth matchup for NA this week was NRG versus Flight, and this is just unfortunate for Flight.
Honestly, I was expecting so much more from Flight this week. I wasn't expecting NRG to take them 3-0 in the series.
I disagree. I think finally that NRG is starting to warm up, and they're we can see how much dominating power they had this game. Justin and Garrett, a little bit of Turbo didn't really pull up as much as I wanted him to, but Garrett and Justin definitely popped this week. It was a good time watching them. I can't wait to watch them twice next week.
And it's kind of unfortunate for Flight. It's kind of a sad story for them, because they go from going to best. They went all the way to Game 5 last week, and now they can't even get a game off of NRG. And NRG wasn't even looking that great last week. Yeah. So I mean, like I said last week, I mean, a lot of these games were dice rolls, and this just kind of just proves that. I mean, you just really don't know till you play.
Absolutely.
So Game 5 for NA this week was the Pittsburgh Knights versus G2.
I'm not surprised by this win coming for G2, 3-1 in the series. I love to see it.
I mean, I wish Knights would have done better, but G2 is definitely just more consistent.
Well, I mean, Rizzo played pretty well that game.
Yeah, he did play very well.
Because JNaps and Chicago played extremely well, but when Rizzo, I think the team anchor, is playing well. It's like a hard team to beat. And
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Knight isn't something to scoff at. You know, they're a good team.
Yeah.
They could have played a little better near the end. AJ was still trying to figure out what to do that game. Like, they're still trying to figure out what he's like up to right now.
Yeah.
And it really shows that. But G2 is a powerhouse right now, and I believe that the ranking for NA is definitely NRG, then G2. I would like to watch. I can't wait to watch
Especially
that
after
game.
that space station game.
Absolutely.
That's an interesting take.
I cannot wait to watch that match.
I'd say Sonic's number 3.
I was supposed to say, I had to say, I put Sonics in the top 4 now that I've seen that they can just roll.
Honestly.
It was one game, maybe one series.
That's true.
We'll see.
But
we'll see.
Still, high hopes.
Up on our next section, EU.
So the first game for EU this week was Barcelona versus Endpoint. And, man, this was a high-scoring game for Barca.
Barca, Flakes destroyed this.
Flakes
series.
had 821 fantasy points this week, which is
I don't
insane.
think you guys understand how upset I am. I had him last week.
And
I
cut him?
dropped
Oh, that
Same
is
with Evan, yeah.
brutal.
No,
absolutely brutal to see.
Well, we definitely like dampened his spirits a lot by saying how like the car matters, but really what did he use this week? He used a gizmo.
Yeah, he just used.
And
Dude just uses whatever he wants.
Uses a gizmo with a cockroach topper on it, and doesn't even sweat it.
He just doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, Endpoint, it's looking like they're the bottom of the barrel this season, but, like, I want to see more from them. It's just that Flakes was demoing like crazy. He was really showing the other team what he needs to do.
Yeah, he really took control of the game.
Yeah, like, he was a powerhouse.
Yep. One thing, Devo and I forget the other guy on Barcelona, but anyways, Devo was helping out a lot with, I think he had, like, over 5 assists this game.
Yeah.
Which was kind of whack. I mean, you know, you just love to see that kind of team play, and it really sucks for Endpoint because, you know, it's a 3-0. But, I mean, were we really expecting anything out of Endpoint? I just don't think so.
I wasn't really expecting that much from them.
Yeah.
So
our second matchup for you this week was TSM versus Veloce. Now, I was kind of expecting a little bit more from TSM, but
Definitely.
it wasn't a blowout.
No.
But I thought they were going to do a little bit better from last week's performance. Veloce looked really slow in the first game, and I think that's why TSM took one.
yeah.
And then they just decided to turn up, and they started converting so much more, and then TSM just couldn't go up to their speed.
The series went 3-1, so only went to game 4. So,
Yeah.
you know, you hate to see it for TSM.
Yeah.
In the post-game interview, Freaky talked about how like he was like, well, they're taking advantage of our speed. We need to go faster, and then just make more touches, like dedicated to like not making sure that they get the touch. And it definitely shows in the past 3 games. They or the game 2, 3, and 4. They definitely popped, and it's really good to see. I want to see more from them. I can't wait to see you. You've been talking about Freaky a lot. You say that you like him.
I like Freaky. He's $1,900 salary on fantasy, so he's expensive, but it was worth it for me that game.
Yeah, it was worth it, and I want to see more from him. Like, I think you're right on him. I think he's definitely a shining light.
He could be really good.
Yeah.
So the third series for you this week was Vitality versus Singularity, and this was a super close series, and it was back and forth the entire time. I don't know about y'all, but I really like this series. I think this is the best EU series for me.
Definitely from this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that Vitality didn't take it, though.
Yeah, I mean, you really do hate to see it, considering Vitality was considered one of the best teams
It's so
in
hard to
the whole
watch.
entire league for a
honestly.
while.
I mean, like a lot of people are giving them no excuses on the fact because they now have that communication skills because they're all French players now.
Yep.
They don't have anyone like that's like Scrub Killer last year. They couldn't really talk as much because he doesn't speak French.
Absolutely.
But
yep.
they have no excuse like that this year. Like they just have to really like K-Dop, like and all the rest of them have to pull up if
Yeah.
they want to like keep that spot as like.
Yeah, I mean, they're losing like clout every day, honestly.
It's really, I mean, like them and CI
every
are kind of
week.
killing it for me right now.
Yeah.
So.
So the fourth matchup for this week was As Monaco versus Dignitas. Dignitas took this 3-1. Not really too much to say about this game. I think Dignitas just kind of took control of the game, and they were just, at the end of the day, they were just the better players.
Well, as Monaco, Tigray played pretty all right for like his level. Like Ignite was still a little lower than like I want him to be because I expect great things from Extra, but it's hard when he's the only one, you know?
Yeah.
Tigray kind of popped a little bit in the first game and like was showing his skill as like a player, like a pro player, but we just need Ignite to pull it together and make sure this team like at least finishes high on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm definitely not surprised Dignitas took this, though. I think we all called it last week. Didn't
Yeah,
we?
yeah, we
Dignitas is
did.
gonna take
Yeah.
the low
I mean, we
here,
figured this was going to
No
happen.
surprises.
Well, that's only the 2 games I've made sure that were all right. We knew Dignitas was going to win, and we knew NRG was going to win, but the rest of them we didn't.
Not so much.
We're taking guesses.
So the last series for you this week was Reciprocity versus Mouse Sports, and if you're a Cookser fan, you hate to see this.
I am.
Absolutely. I dropped Flakes for Cooksier, and
Yeah.
That
I'm
is
so
just so
upset.
unlucky, dude.
Unlucky.
You hate to see that.
Swap them on their bad weeks.
Yeah, Mouse Sports just didn't look like they were playing up to their maximum potential this game, and Reciprocity just took advantage.
Well, I think it wasn't as much as Speed's fault this time because Speed was playing all right, you know. Like,
Yeah.
He didn't make as many mistakes as he did in defense, but I think Fair did very well this week. And Fair's just gonna have to keep carrying Reciprocity and keep on playing like how he is, and he'll definitely get Player of the Week a lot more than we expect.
I mean, you'd love to see that.
Yeah, I mean he's a new player to at least the RLCS, so can't wait for that.
Yep. So we're going to transition to the highlights part of our show here, and number 5 was Squishy's dunk to win Game 3. This was just a really good play, and it's definitely clutch because he ended up getting the goal at 4 seconds. And, you just love to see this if you're C9, especially because that series just was not going in your favor if you're a C9 fan. This was definitely a super clutch goal, and that's why I made number 5 for this week. So number 4 is Flake's double tap on the Game 2 of his series versus Endpoint. And this, honestly, was just a great pass from Devo. Flakes was up for it, and just a crisp, clean double tap.
Absolutely.
I mean, doesn't
Right
get
off
much
the
better than that.
backboard.
Yeah.
Literally doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think this just proves that how dominant he was this series. I mean, he just felt so comfortable this entire time. It was just easy for him. So number 3 was Chaussette's ceiling shot versus Mal's, and this was clean. I really liked watching this, and I can't say I was expecting it. I mean, it looked like he's going to rotate out and then just turns instantly with a beautiful angle into net.
Absolutely stunning.
That was really tight.
You love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really, really, really nice shot. And
And it's from an unexpected angle, too, especially for
yeah,
ceiling shots.
I mean, it looked like he was going to rotate out, and then he's like, nope, I'll go for the shot. And it just
No,
happened to be
I
on.
will.
That was really, really nice. So number 2 was Noli's demo versus Singularity, or no, not versus Singularity, versus Vitality, and this was perfect. He goes up for the contest, and he gets the hit, and then he drops down with a perfect recovery and demos the goalie, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, perfectly
Absolutely.
timed.
I mean, the recovery required to do something like that is insane. I mean, he's literally flipping through the air, gets the recovery, and then just demos them right away. Perfect shot.
Instantly.
It was just
You
great.
love to see it.
Yeah, that was just big plays. And the number 1 for this week was Godsmell's flip reset versus Vitality
This was clutch.
during OT.
This was clutch.
This was really cool, and you really love to see goals like this in RLCS. This is kind of just what you live for. I mean, he just had all the time in the world, and he says, "Yeah, I'll do a flip reset, no problem." Kid up accidentally puts that in, but there's nothing he could do there. He just got bumped into it. Yeah,
I think we didn't talk as much about Godsmilla, but
he's a contender. I mean, he's a good
pretty
player.
good.
Yeah,
he was great.
I mean, he can pull, as we see here, you can pull off some pretty good
Absolutely.
stuff.
Absolutely.
And we'll be looking to see more of him later in the season.
All right, for our final section, we have the predictions for Week 3. We're going to start from NA and then go to EU, and then we'll see what's going on from there. All right, so first game of the day.
Cloud9 versus Flight.
Flight takes it.
Yeah.
Cloud9 is dead.
I just refuse to believe that.
You know what? I don't want to believe it, but
I
I
mean-
think it's going to happen. Seabass is going to carry, and I think Gimmick's just
I
not
don't
going
know.
to clutch up as much. So
Flight got rolled this week, dude.
so did C9.
Yeah, but C9 though. I'm still a believer.
You know what? You can be as much of a believer as you
not.
want.
I mean,
Squishy is bad.
We will find out.
Squishy's not bad. He just isn't as great as before. All right, game 2.
Sonics. Sonics versus Rogue. Sonics takes
Yeah,
it.
Sonic should
Easy.
win this. If Rogue wins, I'm going to be very unhappy.
I'm going to be very surprised.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys.
Kronovi could pop off though.
You know, Kronovi did pop off this week. I don't know about next week. We'll have to see. All right, third game, G2 versus Flight.
G2 for
G2.
sure.
Yeah, well, G2, Jaina, especially if Rizzo pops that day, you know.
Yeah.
If,
All depends on the
if
day.
Rizzo, it doesn't really matter if Rizzo pops or not because Chicago and J-Naps will carry pretty well. But if Rizzo, comes in and clutch that time, it's over.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Something to note about this week is that it's actually 2 separate weeks combined.
Yeah,
so
'cause
that's why Flight's mentioned again.
They skipped first week because of the server issues.
Yeah.
So we have 2 weeks of games. That's why there was 2 Flight games there.
All right, Next game, NRG versus E United.
NRG.
NRG.
I think NRG takes this, but I wouldn't be surprised if E United took a game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that they have a chance. If Hoxter pops and the rest of his team goes well, then it won't really matter. But NRG is definitely if they catch up this game, they're gonna win. They're gonna win. I think they're gonna win this.
They're building momentum.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's all it's about.
I can't get it out, but I'm trying to say that.
Yeah, I read those.
Yeah. Next one, Pittsburgh Knights versus Ghost Gaming.
Ghost. Ghost takes it. Knights takes one game.
After last week, I kind of want to say Ghost, but I'm gonna say Pittsburgh.
I think I'm gonna agree with you. I think Ghost absolutely can win this, but I think Pittsburgh Knights takes this.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh's win this, but I think it could be a really close match.
I think this is gonna be a great match to watch. Bro.
All depends on how they're playing that day. I mean, that's it. To be honest.
Absolutely. All right, next game, NRG versus Space Station Gaming.
After last
should be
week,
easy
NRG is taking this.
Yeah.
Again, if they catch up steam on that first game and they're already warm.
Yeah, they'll be warm. Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll have to see.
It could be an interesting series, but I think NRG is going to sweep there. I think it's going to be easy for them.
All right. So for Sunday, we have EU. The first game of that is Dignitas versus Team Singularity.
Dignitas.
I'm going to say Singularity here.
Ooh.
I'm going to have to disagree. Violent Panda's just too good.
I think this is going to be a close match.
Absolutely.
But I think I want Singularity to win here.
I mean, I hope you're the best, but I think Dignitas takes it.
I respect your opinion, but I disagree.
Absolutely. All right, next game is Asmonco versus Endpoint. See, these are both struggling teams.
This is a toss-up.
Both struggling teams, but I think Extra, and especially if his teammate Tigray or Ignite play well, Endpoint doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, I mean Endpoint was not looking good at all.
This game could obviously go to Game 5 easily.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a close match. We just don't know. Well, these teams are largely unknown because they've been getting rolled.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to see this week. I hope we see them both play well, but,
I think Asmonco takes it.
I agree.
Okay.
All right, next, Mouse Sports Gaming versus Team Singularity.
Singularity.
I mean...
After last week, I don't know. Mouse, if they pull it together, maybe. I think it might be go to Game 5, though.
Here's what I'm going to say. My mind says Singularity. My heart says Mousy.
My mind's telling me no. But my body...
I want Mouse to win, but I don't think they are.
Right.
I think Singularity takes this
I want to say
series.
Mouse because
That's fair.
I want them to come back. I want them to be good again. I want to see
Coke
Mouse
Slurp,
Sports.
please.
You know what?
Coke Slurp, please.
Left Mirror,
Not
got to
Mouse
catch
Slurp.
up. Got to keep them up.
Unlucky, dude.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it, though. All right, next, Vitality versus TSM.
Toss-up.
Toss-up for me, but TSM wins this.
Yep, exactly the same for me.
Just because I think Vitality's going to struggle against TSM. I mean, Vitality looked like they were struggling last week.
Yeah.
I mean, TSM could be consistent enough.
I think...
It just depends on the day, honestly.
Vitality wins it. I think if they're going to...
they could easily win.
Absolutely. I think what's going to happen is they're going to have to figure out what they made mistakes on last week and just make sure they don't do that this week, and they'll be fine. They're an overpowering team, so...
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's important to think here is that if Vitality loses this, I mean, they are kind of out the door in terms of top anything. Yeah. I mean, they'll be put in the bottom.
Yeah. So that's the end of EU.
Yep.
And in later games, after some of the South American teams, we have Renault, Reciprocity. Oh my God, Reciprocity.
So in later games, we have Reciprocity versus Veloce. I think Veloce is going to win this strictly because of Freaky. I mean, I think Freaky's an insane player right now.
He's definitely very good, and I think definitely takes it.
I disagree, but because I can't say the name of the team, I'm going to say Fair is just a good player, and if his team plays well, then they win.
You think Reciprocity wins this game?
That team.
Fair enough.
All right, fair enough.
So for our last game of the EU this week is Vitality versus Barcelona. I think Barca takes this.
Absolutely.
They were looking dominant last week.
Well, if they play like last week,
depends on what cars Flake's using.
Yeah, he might.
That's true.
This time he might use the Venom or something like that.
Dude,
Who knows?
He's on some whack cars. Imagine if he swapped to Octane or Dominus, it'd be over.
We'll have to see, won't we?
I mean, we will.
So that ends it for EU, but we wanted to ask a question for the fans, people watching. South America has games, but they're all in Spanish, and we would love to watch them and announce for you what happening in those. But we want some feedback, see if you guys really care about it, or does it really matter to you? Because I mean, they have a whole bunch of games that they play. And
Yeah, there's a lot of games, but it would be a lot of time, and we're just not sure if the demand's there or not. I mean, we're totally down if you just want to leave a comment, if you want us to cover South American games, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
And we'll start doing that. But for this week, you go ahead and we didn't. But yeah, if you want to, just go ahead and comment, and we'll make that happen.
All right.
All right.
And that's the end of our show today.
That is the breakdown.
That is the breakdown.
The breakdown
All right. Well, thanks guys for watching, and can't wait to show you up next week and tell you what's up.
with double
be
games.
Sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Have a good night, y'all.
Bye. I don't know. They don't. God damn it, bro.
Reciprocity. Recitoxity.
Reciprocity.
You're not allowed to talk.
I'll just shut.
Just say Veloce wins.
I just vote.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Can we just do it like
Yeah.
a at the end?
Running back, Turbo.
All right, go again. Everyone, calm down.